Trevor, I don't think you need Shane McMahon to make this story work.
You don't. You don't. The way they did it, you don't.
People
But
are going to be mad.
If no, you know what? I'm gonna let you finish.
So let me finish, and then we can cook.
I'm actually very curious.
We can cook together, but I want to make this clear to people out there who are wondering, like, does this story need Shane? The answer is no, because Trevor. The more I think about it, the more I listen back to what Moxley has said, and there's a theme of this company is not what it was supposed to be. And it's no longer what I came into. I came into a company that was supposed to represent pro wrestling. I came into a company where the young guys, all these young guys, the 5 pillars or the 4 pillars, Darby, Sammy, MJF, these guys were supposed to level up. These guys were supposed to take the mantle. These guys were supposed to represent a future, a brighter future for professional wrestling. Yet Jon Moxley, after 5 years, I'm still the ace. I'm still the one who has to carry this entire brand. It's still on me and my shoulders. That is not only an indictment on this entire company, but it's an indictment on those young guys. How dare they not step up? How dare they not have the guts to do it? And if they're not going to do it on their own, if the company isn't going to bring it out of them, well, I sure as hell am. And I think, in my view, that is what's motivating Mox here. And that is why Wheeler Yuta begrudgingly did what he did to Bryan. Because while Darby Allin was looking on, while you had Adam Cole, baby, and others in the back, Orange Cassidy looking on, they knew what they did that night at Wrestle Dream by taking out Bryan the way they did, and as emotional and as guttural as it was, they knew that is what they needed to hopefully ignite that fire in these young guys, because that is the story they're telling. They're like, they are being, the sacrificial, like pawns or whatever in this game. They are saying, we are going to do whatever it takes to take it from, or to have you guys take it from us. And if you can't, and if you don't, then this company shouldn't exist anyway. And that's what I think is motivating Mox. That's what I think is motivating this entire group, because it has never been about selfishness. And Claudio's made it clear everything they've done to Bryan has been begrudgingly. It is not because necessarily there's a higher power that's focusing in on those things. And in that way, look, we love the idea of Shane. I love the idea of Shane being in this.
It's a great idea.
And it's still a good idea. But it's not the only one that would work. And it's not, and we're not talking about ratings. We're not talking about business. We're talking about story.
Yep, absolutely.
And if the look on Darby's face, that pay-per-view ended with Darby Allin being as dejected and as broken as he's ever been. And I think the way this story ends is by him being the one to take that belt off of Mox.
I hate that we think the same way, because that's exactly my point. I was honestly thinking the same thing. There is no Shane McMahon. They don't really need Shane McMahon. Now, if Shane McMahon comes up in a way, there are many ways to bring him in. But like you said, somebody step up. I'm sick of this company going the way it's going. I'm putting the company on my shoulders. I'm doing this. Someone step up. And the reason Darby is involved, because Darby is going to be the one to take it off. And once I sat down and actually thought about it, I was like, yes, that's what happened.
I'm telling you, man. And like the thing is, there's still a way. If they're gonna bring in Shane, they could bring in Shane. You could bring in Shane with the EVPs and whatever story they're telling. That would definitely help ignite that story because it needs it. But the more I think about it, man, I'm like, from a pure storytelling standpoint, you don't need that salacious, like insane big moment. You just need to tell a story that makes sense. Think about the best story that AEW's ever told. The rise of Hangman Page. That didn't involve major debuts. That didn't involve bringing in guys from outside. It involved a lot of exciting moments. But it also involved you being there for the ride, tuning in week to week. That is the beautiful part about this story. I think it has accomplished that. I don't think Shane McMahon is needed for this. If this is the direction they're going in, and if it is Trevor,
it's gonna be good.
It's gonna be good.
Now, my question for you is: do you think other people are gonna be added to this? Do you think it's just gonna be Moxley and Pac and Claudio and even Yuta?
Let him grow. Let him grow. Bring in.
I think bring more people.
Bring in the guys, man. Bring in the veterans. Give me a group that wants to elevate AEW to the next level. Give me that group.
Exactly. Hey, and you know what? At some point, all of them should have a belt. At some point.
Hey, man, you want to know something wild, though? You really want to bring out the devil in Darby? There's one way to do it, Trevor.
You've been cooking so far. Come on, bring it out. You've been cooking so far.
Trevor. Darby Allin beat down, bloody, bruised, his first attempt losing to Jon Moxley for the AEW championship.
Mm-hmm.
His father, Sting, comes down to the ring, consoling his son, Darby. Because, of course, they're father and son.
Right.
They both have face paint. That's just how it works.
Right.
And then Mox looks at Sting. He looks at Darby. Looks back at Sting and says, "I'm sorry, Stinger." Boots him right in the face. And the entire BCC start beating down Sting. Marina Shafir holds back Darby Allin. Wheeler Yuta ties him to the ropes, much like they did with Bryan.
And let him watch.
And then Jon Moxley takes a plastic bag and puts it over Sting's face.
Like I said, it's not going to be pretty. It's going to be uncomfortable. The way they're going to do it, it's going to be uncomfortable. And there's going to be a lot of that. A lot of that going on in it. Like screwdrivers, plastic bags. There's going to be a lot of beatdowns. A lot of them. But the end game will be Darby holding that belt.
Yep. We'll see, man. We'll see.